We'll start here with the Cleveland Cavalier matchup and the New York Knicks, which will be the 4-5. That is already set in stone. And Cleveland has been an analytic darling most of the year. They've been among the top, if not the best defensive rating team since the start of the year, which is pretty amazing for a team that has not gotten much love in the market otherwise. But Cleveland has been rock solid. The addition of Donovan Mitchell, getting him in this offseason, clearly took them to another level. Already a good defensive team before that. They finished number 1 on defense this year, but with Mitchell now in the lineup, they've moved to tied for 7th with Atlanta on season-long offensive rating. Jared, and it's a big reason why you're seeing them about a $1.85 favorite over the New York Knicks. The question is, with the Tom Thibodeau, Nick-led defense, is there enough there to slow down the Mitchell-Garland-type backcourt and make this Cavalier offense a little bit more one-dimensional?
I think that's what makes it interesting because it's not a one-game scenario. It's a 7-game series, which means you get Tibbs an opportunity to adjust. And I would say he's probably the better coach in this matchup, right? And I think you do have a Knicks defense that's been pretty good this year, and I would expect to see that continue. I think this is a tight series, and I think the fact that the Cavs get home court is really the biggest reason that they're the favorite here, and they're deserving to be the favorite. But I do think the plus 1.5 games on the Knicks is my favorite play for this. The price, you probably don't want to lay more than 50 cents. I'm seeing minus 140, minus 145, kind of the prevailing number. Mm-hmm. And despite the fact that the Cavs do have the number 1 defensive rating, the Knicks actually have a better ATS record this year. So they've not a big gap there, but they have overexceeded market expectations to a better degree than Cleveland has. And they've been their bench is really strong. You got Quickly that may or may not be the 6th man of the year. I think that's a moot point. He's arguably one of the best players off the bench in the NBA. And I like the Knicks' chances of keeping this series close, of winning this series. But then you get that extra buffer of protection there. All you have to do is force a 7th game. You have to just win your 3 home games, and you will have a chance to win that bet. So I think that's the best way to play it from a gambling perspective. Game to game, good luck. I don't like. I think game to game in the NBA series, in especially the early rounds, are tough. But I do like betting the full series spreads, and I think plus 1.5 games on the Knicks is a pretty fair wager there.
And as much as unheralded as you talk about Cleveland as an overall perspective, people have slept on this Knicks offense for some time, and with Mitchell Robinson, now he's back fully healthy in the fold, the difference he makes, especially on the defensive end, but also as a guy who can kind of anchor the middle of that offense and allow Jalen Brunson to cook, allow separation and spacing to happen on the offensive side. It's an offense that finished top 5 in overall offensive rating. So they're
116 points per game. And the Bucks are only at 116.9, and the Celtics have the number 1 offense in the playoffs, and they're at 117. So not far behind.
Keep in mind, Cavs, it's a team that has not had, as a franchise, much postseason experience since LeBron James left.
And this Knicks team has been to the playoffs recently. Didn't do well against the Hawks, but at least we're in it.
Learned from that experience from a few years ago. Knicks and Cavaliers, the 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.